Rock and roll. Hello, I'm here from Ethan from Skorn. He plays guitar in a... Do you play in any other bands? You got anything?
I play drums in a band called Vicious Instinct with Lewy. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Oh, yeah, sick. Fucking oath. First question I wanted to ask is, how is it coming up to Brisbane again and playing your first show here at Black Box Theatre in Nambour?
Yeah, it's really sick because first time we came up here was pretty much a year ago. Basically a year ago. And it was for Cold Day 2024. Obviously, that was like a big barrier show, very big venue. It was an awesome show, but being able to play, more of a hardcore suited show where it's, no barriers, very DIY. It's just fucking sick. Yeah, it's so hectic. Yeah.
Another thing is, how did Skorn get together and just want to make a band? Did you guys just...
Yeah, so I can't really say 100%. I joined the band probably about 3 or 4 months after it started. But I know it originally started off of a Facebook post. So our an original member sort of put up a post on like a musician group and asked to start a hardcore band, and Beat, our vocalist, replied. And that's how it sort of started. But yeah, and then the lineup sort of changed over like a year. I joined, and then the original drummer left, and then Billy joined, and then Leo ended up joining as well. So it sort of evolved into this pretty fresh thing, I think. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So, if you had to describe your sound with, again, just anything, what would you describe it as? What bands would you draw from for your influence?
So Skorn's just fucking dumb mosh riffs. It's like the dumbest music ever.
I can confirm.
Yeah. And it's just like, we make music that we would mosh to, and it works that everyone else wants to mosh to that. So yeah, it's pretty dope. It's been getting out of hand recently. Not out of hand, but like been pretty crazy. Like tonight, someone went up to Louis and said that they were genuinely scared during our set, which is so fucking crazy to hear. It's so funny to hear. But I guess that's sort of what we go for. Just dumb music. Yeah.
Shit that makes you laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fuck. Again, with just band stuff and like hardcore in general, what for you makes hardcore special in a way?
Look, it's really just the community. Like, I sort of came out of high school straight into this, like post-COVID, and met my best friends through it.
Yeah.
Like everyone that I'm in bands with and are in my scene are like my best mates, and I could trust them with anything. So being able to have that is just the most important thing to me. And yeah, that's what it's all about for me.
Sick.
Music comes second.
Music comes second. Friends come first.
Exactly.
Always.
Right.
Yeah. So, another thing is, what can we expect from Skorn this year? Have you got anything confirmed, anything unconfirmed, just anything you can talk about, basically?
Yeah. So we've got some new music coming out. Hopefully, at this point, it's looking like late quarter this year, like third quarter, late this year. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit earlier then, but it's just all the other shit than actually writing the music. So waiting for recordings, artwork, labels, stuff like that. It just takes a lot of time. And yeah, so hopefully I should be out by the end of the year. Then we've got a couple tours in the works that we may be doing. Can't really say too much about that.
Yes, definitely.
But just going with the flow at the moment. It's all sort of happening pretty organically, which is really dope to see. Like, yeah, it's really good. I'm stoked. Yeah.
Sick. How did you guys make the actual name Skorn? Or like, just, I know it's probably a hard one, but yeah.
Look, I don't know. That's something that B came up with. but I think it's about it's basically just a different spelling of the word scorn, Scorn, which means to do something in spite of someone.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's where it's come from.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, to just make it a bit quicker, you got any shout outs, anything to mention?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Nambour, Black Box Theatre. This place fucking rules. Shout out 270. Shout out Scram. Shout out Envoy. All fucking crazy bands. Shout out SCT. Shout out the brother, Alex Arthur, 1999 and forever. The GOAT. Yeah. Shout out Hardcore. Shout out my fucking friends.
Fucking oath. Shout out everyone. Well, yeah, this is Skorn interview. Done.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Hello, I'm with Louis Glass from Volatile Ways and Fuck, I just mind farted. Honest Crooks. He's from Honest Crooks. He did a bit of hard currency stuff. And yeah, he's from Volatile Ways. So let's just get this started with a question. Okay. How was making your album The Perfect Dark?
Crazy, bro. It was a long process. Started writing late 2021. Pre-production, I think, was done around like March or April 2022. So that was before Brock and Jonah joined the band. And yeah, after Brock joined, it was like mid 2022. He tracked all the guitars and got them real nice and tight. And we had Chaz from Justice for the Damned played the drums on it in the studio. Just to get it like all fucking 100%. And yeah, it was all fully mixed, mastered, ready to rock and roll like probably a year ago now.
Yeah.
And it just come out in February. So yeah, all takes a long time to get all those finishing touches right. And yeah, but we're super, super stoked, super proud of it, and really stoked with how it's been received so far.
Yeah, cool as. Fuck. Another question is on the same band topic. How did all of you meet and just wanted to make a band?
It's pretty crazy. So I'll talk about like Brock and Jonah joining because that's our like current lineup. But the band started. So Emily used to come and run merch for like Crooks shows and stuff, and we started dating. We've been together over 6 years now, which is crazy. So yeah, in the early stages of us dating, she'd come out to shows and sell merch for us and get up and do features with us live and stuff.
Yeah.
And she had like an awesome vocal, and people would always tell her that she needed to start a band. And I kind of didn't want to do. I wanted her to have her own band. It wasn't with me.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was just like, oh fuck it, I've got some old songs like that I wrote for Crooks that we never used, and it'd be awesome like to use them for a project one day. And then I was like, if I make someone hit up some friends, and I was like, if I pay for everything and just get it all done, would you guys be keen to do it? And they were keen to do it. And that was our original lineup. And then, over time, things changed, people changed, and lives changed and everything else. Yeah. And then we ended up getting Brock and Jonah. And I met Brock, he was probably like 15 or 16. And him and Darcy, because Brock plays in Splinter. And Jonah also plays in Splinter as well, but Jonah wasn't in Splinter back then. But Brock was probably 15 or 16. And we played an all-ages show in the Central Coast in 2018 on the Suffer Tour with Honest Crooks. And Brock's mum drove him and Darcy to the show on like a Wednesday night because it was only all-ages show. Because all-ages shows just fucking weren't happening back then. You know what I mean? There was just this little like rehearsal space. Essentially, you could fit like 40 people in the room or something.
Fuck yeah.
And they like traveled down for no stage, just a floor show. Yeah. And they were like asking us to fucking sign their wallets and shit, just whatever they had, And it was, I was like, this is awesome. And they told us that they just started this band called Splinter, and that was back then, and they've stuck with it, and now they've fucking toured with Kublai Khan, and they're in Terror, and they're about to tour with Malevolence, and like just it goes to show how fucking awesome it can be if you stick with something that you started like in in your mid-teens is pretty crazy. And now, yeah, fast forward 4 years later, and Brock and Jonah were playing in a band with us, and it's just like, but the right attitude, the right mentality, they stuck around. They always come to shows, and they were super friendly and always wanted to help out and everything. And it was just like they were the right people to have in a band. You could just tell. And when we hit them up, I said, I don't want it to take away from what you guys are doing. We just wanted to play in a band with people we get along with, and we know are good musicians. And dude, it's been awesome. It was a lifesaver, like having them join the band, and they're 10 years younger than me, which is crazy. So gives me a whole lot of new life, the young blood, adrenochrome.
Fucking oath. All right, another question is, if you could describe Volatile Ways sound, what would you describe it as?
Mostly influenced by, instrumentally would be by like probably like the old OG deathcore era. So MySpace, and maybe even a little bit before, like 2005, 2006. So like there would be like a bunch of like probably EP and cleansing era, like Suicide Silence, and then bands like Alicia, Underneath the Gun, With Blood Comes Cleansing, Impending Doom.
Yeah.
So many of these, like, for some reason, so many of the like Christian deathcore bands wrote the hardest music, which just doesn't make sense. But I love all that stuff. So, and then like Shinto Katana, like We Can't Be Saved, there is Shinto, which was like leaned to that more like death metal influenced mosh stuff. So it's kind of like stripping away all the like melodic or even at the gatesy style mellow death influence from that old deathcore, and sort of combining the more hardcore roots from like bands like Animosity or Antagony or Alicia or something like that, and just stripping it straight back to the dumb heavy chug tremolo chug pinchy like just the dumb heavy stuff and
the shit that makes you crack up.
Just like brutal. I mean, you listen to the Cleansing, and it's like, if that didn't have like high vocals on it, it's almost a brutal death metal album, really. You know what I mean? And in terms of even production and stuff. So instrumentally mostly that, and just writing music to make people bash the fuck out of each other is the main goal.
Fuck yeah. And
then Em's kind of got this like mid-low sort of range, and she's broadening it and like doing a bit more of these higher stuff, but not like deathcore highs, like kind of like this like more like shouty, angry higher. It's awesome. It's been fun to experiment.
Fuck yeah.
With her, because this was her first band, you know what I mean? So she's getting to know, as we play more and more shows over time and more recording, her own style and work out what she can and improve on her range and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think her vocal style kind of like leans it a little bit more into that hardcore leaning side of deathcore. And then even like, some of these more modern death metal bands played by hardcore people, sort of like slots into that a little bit as well.
Has their own hardcore elements to it.
Yeah, for sure. And like we're a part of the hardcore scene, and all our friends are in hardcore bands, and that's what we want to do.
Fuck yeah.
And it's cool. It's like there's not really like a big heavy mosh band in Australia right now. It's like since Shinto, really. You know what I mean? Justice for the Damned kind of like touches on that style a little bit, but like the real heavy, more sort of deathcore stuff. A lot of the deathcore bands in Australia more in the sort of modern sound a bit more, and have the really good production and stuff like that. And it's a different sort of style. So I really like that stripped back, really heavy, sort of brutal sound. Yeah. That's the goal. I feel like it translates pretty well from what I see with people say and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy with it. But I just like, I'm not great at writing, so I just write whatever fucking sounds heavy as fuck to me. And like, I'd beat us to that. So that's what I want to write. Essentially. Yeah.
Another thing is, how does it feel putting a band that you're in through your own label and like making, I don't know, somewhat like of a lifestyle off of it?
It's pretty fucking awesome, man. So over the years, I've always put out our own music in different bands and things like that, and that's it just comes as part of it. You know what I mean? When when you're trying to sort of build your name up and stuff like that, like you don't have the right connections or whatever, it can be hard to get onto other labels or have someone put your music out. And I've had different friends over the years just give advice, and I love giving advice to people and stuff as well. And we were trying to get on a label for this record, even just some like smaller independent ones and stuff. But again, dude, there wasn't a label that suited heavy, like just a heavy
side
shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's like too sort of deathcore for like a hardcore label, and then the other sort of heavy labels are a bit more like in the metalcore realm and stuff, and it wasn't really anywhere to line up, and it probably wouldn't have suited like just a metal label. And and so we sent out a ton of emails to a bunch of different labels. So I've never heard anything back. We spoke with Metal Blade, which is pretty crazy, but they weren't super keen on an Australian band because it's really hard to
put out a band that's from like a whole other place.
Yeah, because it's like they sort of said that it's really difficult for Australian bands to tour in America and stuff, but it would help a lot if we had an American label. But that's just how it is. And I was like, oh, we'll just put it out ourselves, you know what I mean? And then I was like, why don't I start a label, you know what I mean? And then it's like having an extra little thing to market with, and it doesn't just come straight from the band. It's like its own little thing. And then if I'm interested in anything, then I can put out friends' bands or bands that I'm interested in or whatever. And I mean, I started it in maybe late May last year, just on a whim. Assisted with a Shinto Katana release off the bat, which is crazy. The New Ethic put out, and then I mean the second physical release was the Volatile Ways pre-orders. So that was November, and then since then I think we're up to almost 10 releases now. So that's pretty much from November to April. I've done over 400 orders through the store. It's been really, really awesome, you know, and I've got to work with a bunch of cool bands, and it's been super fun collaborating with other bands that, you know, because it's like if I like to do a lot of that within my projects. So dealing with the person in those bands, or if the whole band is creative and stuff, it's actually really fun to work on something with them and collaborate and come up with something that suits all parties and, you know, is going to look sick as a finished product. And it's fun, man. We've got a bunch of stuff in the works. It hasn't been announced yet. You know, I've done a handful of vinyl releases now, which is great. The Sanction stuff through Days. Aglo stuff through, you know, Aaron and Oblivious Maximus. I brought some stuff up for Bad Habit to Distro when we came up for this, and like Aggravation Place in Maitland has got some stuff in there now, and it's just it's been really fun, man. Just working it all out, and now that I'm pretty much freelance touring for work, I've got all this like extra time that I wouldn't have had when I was working full time when I started the label. So it's fucking it's cool, man. I'm just sort of just running it as it goes and seeing what I can do with it. And it's honestly been so fun, and it's pretty crazy that it's like kind of like half my job now, you know what I mean? It's pretty surreal. It's awesome.
Fuck yeah. All right, so to end it off, you got any shout outs you want to give to anyone, or
we're in Nambour right now, so we just played Black Box. I mean, Antivision has fucking just changed the game up here. It's just so insane what Cherry's done, and everyone that helps out with that is awesome and just so passionate. And I mean, tonight Envoy played their first show, and they bringing this sort of MySpace deathcore sort of elements, and fucking open with 7 Stitches by Disembodied, and then like later in the set cover Roots by Sepultura, and then have original songs that sound like EP era fucking Chelsea Grin. And it's like, what is happening? It's like 18-year-olds playing like this OG style that I love. It just blew me away. And like, you know, I wouldn't have seen that band if Cherry didn't share them and say there's a new band, and like the response to their set was fucked. It was so good. It was like one of the best first shows I've seen. And then when we played with 270, which is your band, and Scram and Human Condition, which is Cherry's band, like that was all first shows for you guys back in December, same venue, and the response to those was like the best first shows I've ever seen. And it's just like, fuck, it's so exciting what you have happening up here.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
yeah, dude, it's great because all ages venues and shows didn't exist for so long, and that's why like shit was kind of like dying for a bit.
Yeah.
And it's so awesome to have like guys like you guys,
Bringing
you know,
back
15, 16-year-olds
Yeah.
fucking playing heavy hardcore music and moshing to every band and like just putting on for your city and your scene. It's fucking sick. So yeah, shout out to that. Like, so yeah, Envoy 270, Cyclone. I mean, Scram are from Yamba, but they come up here because it's hard for them to play shows. Yeah, I mean, Spat Out, biggest band on the Sunny Coast, right?
Yeah, man.
Lewy. Obviously, yeah, SCT, Skorn, who we're up here with right now. Crossface, who played the show, we just put out their album through Big Records. Yeah, I mean, there's fuckloads of shout outs. Human Condition are playing the show on Sunday at the Bright Side as well. It's their first time in Brisbane, so it's even fun to like help out a little bit and then take them to Brisbane for the first time. You know what I mean? And do that sort of thing. So that's all like,
pretty dope.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Yeah, and Borg at Bad Habit, he's awesome. He knows what's up, and yeah, he's a super genuine, switched on guy, and has been super supportive of me and the label so far, which is great. Shout out fucking SCBD, brother. Sunny Coast Beatdown.
Sunny Coast Beatdown.
So Beatdown Bugle, right? Big Bozza Bowie Beatdown Bugle. That's 5 Bs, brother.
Yeah, I've got like Bowie Beatdown Bugle, Big Bozza Bowls. We've got too much bees, man. Anything to end it off, just like as a last thing?
If you want to check out the album, Perfect Dark is on Spotify. We've still got vinyls available on onlybigrecords.com. CDs and stuff too. We've got a bunch of merch. And if you want to follow the label, we've got tons of releases pending, like right through to the end of the year, essentially. So it's crazy. Dope. It's crazy. It's super exciting. So yeah, if you want to follow the band or the label, that'd be awesome.
Sweet. Thank you heaps, Louis Glass, the absolute hardcore goat.